Yo, what's up, everyone? Welcome to the live. Happy Monday. Hope you guys had a good weekend. Relax, enjoy the time off. Today is July 20th. Today is a holiday in Colombia, Independence Day. So, happy Independence Day to all the Colombian people out there. Today, we're going to have a great show. We're going to go over past simple pronunciation, which a lot of you may have covered with other teachers, but I guarantee you have not covered it in the way that I teach it. And the way that I teach it is for you to be able to hear, to listen like a native speaker in order to pronounce the past simple like a native speaker. Most teachers want you to memorize the rules and the letters, which to me is the most ineffective way to learn anything in pronunciation, because how do native speakers learn pronunciation? With their ears, not by memorizing rules. And if you memorize rules and you're trying to talk, the first thing you're going to do is try to flip through your mental Rolodex and figure out which rule you need to apply when. And we know that that will not lead to smooth communication. So, welcome, guys. As you're jumping in the chat, please hit the like button, drop in the comments where you're watching from. And if there's any phrases or words you want me to cover, I will be happy to do that if you drop that in the chat. So, why don't we get into it? Let's get into it. Let me set this up here real quick. Looks like we're already set up. All right. So, past simple. Regular verbs. So, we're talking about regular verbs. These are verbs that finish with ed. And there's 3 ways to pronounce these. And the good thing is that there's no exceptions. So once you know how to do this, you will know how to do it forever. You don't have to worry about that, crazy characteristic or aspect of English where there's always some weird exception. We don't have to worry about that. So if you've ever watched my videos, you've taken a class with me, you know that I'm always talking about where does the voice come from? Where does the native speaker's ears focus their listening? And the answer to that we know is the body, the chest, the resonance, the melody, the vibration here. So we're going to take that same concept and we're going to apply it to past simple. So we're just going to be using the tools that we already have and apply it to another characteristic of the language. So let's jump into it. In English, there's 2 types of sounds. We have voiced and unvoiced sounds, or you can also say voiced and voiceless. It's the same thing. What this means is that voiced sounds have a vibration and voiceless do not have a vibration. So a lot of times you can find what we call minimal pairs where the same sound becomes a different letter whether it has vibration or not. So if you talk about something like F and V, right? F, no vibration, V, vibration, it's the same sound, same mouth position, just adding or removing vibration. So to understand how to pronounce these sounds in past tense, hold on, let me make sure you can see this. So to understand how to pronounce these sounds in past tense, what we're going to do is we're going to look at, look at how the word finishes in present tense. The present tense is going to dictate what comes next. Okay, when we're pronouncing things, we like to continue with a pattern. So the easiest way to do this is to look at a word in the present tense. And if the word finishes with a voiced sound, then we'll add a D. Okay, but we do not add an extra syllable. So these are the 2 things you need to know. Does it finish with a voiced sound? If yes, we add a D, but we do not add an extra syllable. Sorry, this view is going a little bit crazy here. Okay, so let's look at some examples of voiced letters. Voiced letters are Again, letters that have vibration. So let's check them out. Let's see how the vibration sounds. Let's do it together. B. Put your hand here. Make a B sound and see if you feel some vibration. B, 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 b. Vibration. G. G, 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 g. Vibration. L. L, 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 l. M, 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 m. N, 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 n. Ing, ing. Right? You should be able to hear the vibration as well. There's two types of TH. We have voiced and voiceless TH. So there is a vibrating TH of th. We have v, w, y, and z. So all of these are voiced sounds. So if it finishes in present tense with any one of these voiced sounds, what's the rule? We add a D, but we do not add a syllable. So let's look at some examples. Here we go. All right, all of these examples, if you look at the present tense, finish with one of these voiced sounds. Rob, bag, pull. So in American English, when we start vibration, we don't like to stop vibration. The difference between a D and a T sound is, again, what we just talked about as minimal pairs, just vibration. So because these words finish with vibration in the present tense, we're just going to add that vibrating sound in the past. This image is hard. There we go. Right. We'll look at T here in a second. But know that D and T are the same sound. One has vibration, one doesn't. So if a regular verb finishes with any of these sounds in the present tense, all we do is add a D sound. But to do that, you have to use the correct placement. You have to use the correct musicality. You have to drive your voice forward and continue that vibration. You can't finish it in the mouth. Right? So you guys repeat this after me and focus on listening to the sound here and the continuous vibration. Here we go. Robbed. Bd. Bd. You hear that vibration continuing? Robbed. I'm not saying robbed. Robbed. Pt, pt, pt. Right? That's not vibration. That's not voiced. I'm using musicality in my singing voice, and I'm singing all the way through the final sound. So this is the thing that is the most challenging for you guys as students, is to continue your voice moving forward. A lot of times you'll get to the end of the word and your brain will just kind of tell you like, oh, we're almost done. There's no need to keep, making this aggressive energy from the body. We have enough energy to finish in the mouth. But if you finish in the mouth, you're not sending the sound in a way that is familiar. Next one, bag. Okay, bag, g, 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 vibration. So I'm just going to continue that vibration. I'm going to say bagged, bagged, gd, gd. Right? So if you're speaking and you need to say it in the past tense, or at the grocery store, you say, yeah, and the cashier bagged, right? You just feel the vibration and continue the vibration. If you say backed, backed without vibration, you'll probably be understood, but it will be distracting. What you don't want to do is you don't want to add that extra syllable. You don't want to say bagged, bagged, bagged. That will be hard to understand. Okay, next one, pull. Oh. You hear the vibration? Oh. So I'm just going to add a D sound. Pulled. Pulled. Listen, my ears as an American listener focus on this the whole time. I want to hear it going all the way through. Listen. Pulled. 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 You try it. Next one, stirred. If you're practicing, you're not sure. If there's vibration, just hold out the letter. Stir. Lots of vibration. So don't add another syllable, just add a D. Stirred. Stirred. Make sure you're repeating after me. You're not just staring at me. Next one, harm. Harm. harmed, harmed, harmed. Feel the vibration, the strong vibration. Once we start vibrating, we don't like to stop. Next one, can, canned, canned. Next one, belong. Listen to that vibration. Past tense, belonged. Smooth. Okay, here's our voiced TH sound. The final sound is this. Smooth. So just continue the vibration. Don't stop your voice. Slide into the D. Smoothed. If you say smoothed, smoothed, again, you'll probably be understood, but it sounds weird. And you definitely don't want to say smooth it. Smooth it. Don't do that. It's smoothed. Next one, save. Lots of vibration. Just add the D, not the extra syllable. Don't say saved. It's saved. One syllable. Saved. But I'm singing with musicality all the way past the letter to keep that vibration going. Next one finishes with slow. Feel the vibration. Continue the vibration into a D. Slowed. Not slowed. Slowed. One syllable and just a D sound. Next one here, look at this. We got 2-syllable word. So if it's 2 syllables in present, it's going to be 2 syllables in past. We just need to figure out if it's vibrating or not. So what's the final sound? Enjoy. Lots of vibration. Continue the vibration. Just add the D sound, but not the extra syllable. So it's enjoyed. Enjoyed. Repeat after me. Enjoyed. Hit the like button, chat. Let me know where you're watching from in the comments. All right, last one with the voiced sounds is quiz. Lots of vibration. Quiz. Continue the vibration. Do not add an extra syllable. So it's quizzed. Quizzed. Like that. All right. So we're going over the rules here for regular verbs that finish with voiced sounds. The past simple cheat sheet. So what we did was we looked at the word, how it finishes in present tense, the final sound in present tense, to know how to pronounce it in past tense. So all of these vibrating sounds, anytime the word finishes with one of these vibrating sounds, we just add a D sound, but we do not add an extra syllable. Great. So that's voiced. We're going to do the same thing with voiceless. Right? If it's voiceless, we just add a T sound, but not an extra syllable. Super easy. This one's way easier for non-native speakers because you guys don't have to think about the vibration and so much musicality. So again, all of these sounds here, these are mouth sounds. They're not resonating in the body. They're not creating vibration. So if a regular verb finishes with one of these sounds, we just add a T. But we do not add an extra syllable. So let's look at them. Repeat them after me. First one, flip. Flip. I hope you guys can see that. First one, flip. Voiceless, no vibration. Just continue, no vibration, right? Because we don't like to jump in and out of vibration. So we're just going to say flipped. Don't say flip it. Flip it. We do not add extra syllables, just flipped. Next one, panic. Almost dropped something. Panic. No vibration. It's 2 syllables in present, 2 syllables in past. So it's panicked. Listen, no vibration. Just continue doing the same thing. This is a common pattern in English. Rush. No vibration. So in past tense, no vibration. It's just rushed. rushed. All right, guys, make sure you're repeating after me. Don't just stare at me. You got to have these come out of your mouth so that you build muscle memory. Your body gets used to repeating them or saying them without thinking. Next one, stuff. No vibration. So just going to go stuffed. Not stuffette. Stuffette. No. Stuffed. This one, I can't tell you how many times I've seen with this watch non-native speakers adding an extra syllable. I have heard thousands and thousands of times, watch it, watch it, watch it. And only someone who's used to listening to non-native speakers would have an easy time understanding that. So it's one syllable in present, it's one syllable in past. It finishes with a voiceless sound, which means no vibration. So we just connect a T sound to the end and say, watched. Repeat it after me. Watched. Next one, toss. No vibration. Attach the T. Tossed. You say it. Tossed. Birth. No vibration. Add the T sound. Birthed. And again, one that I've heard so many times pronounced incorrectly because people add an extra syllable. People mix it, mix it. Don't do that. Don't do that. It's one syllable in present. Pronounce it in one syllable in past. Just figure out if it needs to be vibration or no vibration. This mix has no vibration, so you attach a T that has no vibration. Mixed. Not mix it. Mix it. It's mixed. Say it with me. Mixed. You mixed. Hit the like button, chat. Hit the like button. Drop in the chat. Where are you watching from? Which country? All right. So look, we checked out D and we checked out T. So what I mean by that, voiced or voiceless. If it's vibrating or not vibrating. Okay. Remember, this is the past simple ED cheat sheet. So we've gone over the two main categories, right? When it finishes with a voiced sound, okay, we add a D because voiced is vibration, D is vibration, but no extra syllable. When it finishes with a voiceless sound, we add a T, no extra syllable, right? Because these have no vibration, T has no vibration. So the only thing that's left now is, what if the word finishes with either T or D? If it finishes with T or D, it's going to be really hard to add T or D to a word that already finishes with T or D. So in this case, now, let me make this bigger. Now we can add an extra syllable if it finishes with T or D. So we add id, which is voiced. Not it. Not it. It's id. Listen to the vibration in here. Id. That's what the listener's ear is listening for. Okay, so some examples. Here, right? In present tense, all of these words finish with T or D. So we add an extra syllable and it's id. So from accept to accepted. You say it. Accepted. Listen to this. Make sure you're paying attention here, not staring at the letters. Accepted. Next one, profited. Fitted. Notice how my voice continues moving forward. I'm not breaking it up. Profited. Is here my voice continuously going with vibration. Profited. Something we all want to do. All right, now if it finishes with D, it's the same thing. Avoided. 2 syllables in present, 3 syllables in past. Avoid, avoided. Expand, expanded. And that's it. That is how past simple works. And like I said, there's no exceptions to this. No exceptions at all. So I'm going to drop this here in the a link for this in the description after, because I have to make the landing page for it, where you guys can go and use this guide. But this is way better than trying to memorize every letter that's voiced and every letter that's voiceless and then trying to think in your head as you're talking. No, you do what I'm already teaching you to do with every other lesson that we've had. Listen, feel the vibration, follow the vibration. If the vibration goes until the end of the word, continue the vibration. Right? Robbed, bagged, so bad at thinking examples, belonged, saved. If there's no vibration, add the t. Right? Flipped, panicked, tossed. If it finishes with T or D, add id. If you guys got questions, drop it in the chat. Drop it in the chat right now. I'm going to move on to another topic. So if you guys want more practice material from this, go to Rachel's English, rachelsenglishacademy.com. Use the code Josh10. You get 10% off. It's the biggest resource, the most complete resource where you can get all the downloadable audios and soundboards to practice past simple ED, and you can use the same rules that I just taught you, and you have thousands and thousands of audios, conversations to listen to and shadow. All right, hit the like button, chat. We're going to go into some phrase chunks. Phrase chunks is the next segment. Unless you guys put any questions about this past simple, we're going to go to phrase chunks. All right. Let me know where you're listening, where you're watching from. Where do I do this here? All right. So, what do I mean by phrase chunks? Phrase chunks are your templates for speaking English. This is basically your survival guide. This is the if you're into religion, this is your Bible for speaking English. Do not memorize grammar rules. Grammar rules are stupid. Grammar rules are stupid. I've been learning Spanish for 10 plus years, over a decade living in a Spanish speaking country, and I've never had a situation where it helped me speak more fluently to know what the rule is. It never mattered. The person I was talking to didn't care. And in the moment I was trying to relay my message, I didn't care what the rule was either. I just understood what that phrase meant, and I understood how to pronounce it in a way that was clear. Just a second. So if you have a template of phrases that you know what they mean and you know how to pronounce them in a way that sounds clear, you can add things to them. And it doesn't matter what the grammatical category or name of them is. You're going to become fluent because you'll be listening to the language, listening to the phrase the way that the native speaker is, and you'll be able to pull it out anytime you want without thinking about it. I think that all other ways to learn English or languages is backwards. So what's our phrase today? What do you? So how do you guys pronounce this? What do you? What do you? That's what I hear a lot. What I hear is usually you guys stare at the letters, you pronounce every letter the way you see it perfectly. What do you? What do you? Using the mouth, focused on consonants. Well, if you've been watching my videos or taking my class, you know that's not what we do. We do the opposite. First thing we got to do is we got to start the engine of the voice, the motor. So start your musicality from the diaphragm. Let that voice come up. Start the engine, and then move into the speaking. right? Just because you see a W here first doesn't mean that you're going to start by going wah, 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 wah. In fact, if you do that, you'll be hard to understand. The W comes up through the changing of the shape of the musicality, just making this smaller. Look at this. Ooh, ooh, wah, wah. Not wah, wah, wah. Right? Wah, wah, wah. This air coming out in a smaller shape. So, if we look at these here, when you're analyzing a phrase, the first thing you want to do is figure out, are these, which words are important or which words are more important? Okay? Obviously, what has some importance? It's giving us some information, right? It's letting us know that it's a question. So we're going to put a little bit of attention on that. But it's not going to be the most important, right? It's setting us up for something bigger. Do and you are not important. If I'm looking at you and I say you, it's not a surprise, it's not new information. You already know who you are. So we're going to make all of this pretty small, but we're going to make these the smallest, and we're not going to pronounce each word individually. You're not going to hear any space or gap between these words. Listen to the way I pronounce it. Starting out, don't repeat after me. Just listen and let your ears absorb the sound and listen to the way that I'm transmitting the information here with melody and musicality, not from the mouth. Check it out. What do you 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 right? If you're listening and not staring at the letters, you notice it sounds a lot different than what's written, right? If I was going to write this out phonetically, it would be something like, maybe like, what do you, what do you, what do you, that's it. And notice, because I have all this strong vibration and melody, the listener's ears following along. What do you, all right, so now you guys repeat after me. What do you, stop staring at the words. I already know. Everybody that's watching right now, I know you're staring at the words. Don't stare at the words. Just listen. Listen to the vibration, the music. Imitate the sound that you hear right here. What do you, what do you, what do you? So, if you can get good at saying that, you can put so many things after it. And you're going to be really capturing the listener's attention because you started out in a way that they're used to. Right? We're not saying wah, wah, wah. It's woo, woo, woo. Look how soft my lips are. What do you, what do you, what do you? What's up, chat? Hello to you. Let me know where you're watching from. What country are you in? All right, so now that we know how to say what do you, instead of what do you, what do you, now you can add whatever you want. Right? But we're starting out in a way that sounds clear and natural. So now, like I said, we need to decide which words are most important. We already said do and you is not important. Want, yeah, it's a little bit important, but it's not telling us the full message. The most important detail is do. So you're going to hear that has the most attention with the pitch and the volume and the length. Don't stare at it. Just listen to how I'm saying it. What do you want to do? What do you want to do? I'm not saying what do you want to do? What do you want to do? I'm saying what do you want to do? Listen to the music. What do you want to do? What do you want to do? Imitate the music. Imitate this vibration. Go ahead, do it. What do you want to do? What do you want to do? Notice, I'm not giving attention to the consonants. What do you want to do? That's the opposite of what our ears understand. Next one. Same thing. What do you, right? You're not sure what someone's trying to say? It's a really, really common way to ask what they are trying to talk about. When you say mean, and what's the most important part here is the vowel. It's not the N, it's not the M, because I know most of you are gonna go men, 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 men. I just worked on this sound with a student earlier. When I say it, I focus on the vowel and the vibration. I say mean, mean. So we add our phrase chunk, start with our phrase chunk, bring the musicality up, start the melody. Don't pronounce the first letter first. Sing your melody in your voice first. What do you mean? Hear how high up the pitch. Listen to how far away the pitch and the most important part is from down here. What do you mean? You try it. What do you mean? Make sure you're using your singing voice. You need to use musicality. What do you mean? Right? Don't guide me through with the consonants. Guide me through with the resonance and vibration. What do you mean? All right. So this is easy, right? Look how many different things we can do with just this phrase chunk. What do you? So again, we're going to focus on the vowel, but you got to change the way you hear these consonants. This L sound is going to trap most of you. Most of you are going to say, what do you like? What do you like? Like. Because for your ears, an L needs to be really clear and perfect and have a lot of identity. For my ears, L is L. For your ears, L is La. For my ears, L is L. So that's why I can put so much identity on the vowel with the musicality, because I could just slide right past L into like. Whereas most of you are going like. I'm saying like. Then we got some nice consonant to vowel linking. So we're going to say like about it. I know it doesn't look like that, but stop staring at the words. Just listen to the way I say it. Like about it. Like about it. Listen to the energy flowing through nonstop. You never hear this musicality stop. Like about it. You try. Like about it. So we just add our phrase chunk, keep the music going, never stop the vibration. Remember, the listener's ear is following this melody. What do you like about it? What do you like about it? Don't just stare at me, repeat it. What do you like about it? Right? If you're having trouble linking these, just take the link, just remove the words and just extract a couple of sounds. Right? You could say kabow, 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 or bowed it, bowed it. Then you could say kabowed it. Try it. Kabowed it, kabowed it. Just listen to the sound. Kabowed it, kabowed it. Say it. Kabowed it, kabowed it. What are you doing right now? You're tuning your ears to hear how it actually sounds in real life, and you're developing some familiarity with your body for saying it. Listen, kabowed it. Then just add the next part. Like about it. Like about it, about it. Add phrase chunk. What do you like about it? What do you like about it? Man, you guys are improving your English so much just by learning how to listen to the language and turning that into a phrase chunk that you can use almost every time you speak English. Don't forget to hit the like button, chat. Let me know where you're listening from, where you're watching from. Okay, so we're running the same play. We're not going to do anything different. We're going to focus on the same things, the vowel sounds, the melody. So we've got two important vowels. And look, which one of these do you guys think is more important? Need or first? Which one is going to have more pitch? Need or first? Well, which one is the most specific detail? The most specific detail is first. So that's going to have the most pitch. What do you need first? All right, let me do that again because I know you guys were staring at the letters. I know. I don't even have to be on the call with you to know you're staring at the letters. Don't stare at the letters. Don't stare at need first, need first, need first. I bet you most of you are making your F like this, fa, 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 with so much tension and pressure here. Don't put the identity on the consonant sounds like that. Slide past the consonants in the vowel. Musicality. Listen. Watch how I make the F. What do you need first? See how soft that was? Need first. Need first. What do you hear more? Defa, defa, defa. No. Need first. Listen to how much music I have here. Need first. To make that pitch go up high, I double, triple, quadruple down on musicality. Listen. What do you need first? 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 All right, last one. Oh, this one's good. Look at this. I'll do a lesson on this later, but some stuff you don't need to know the rules just to start practicing because it's something you're going to do every time you speak English. So it doesn't matter what the rule is. You just need to learn how to listen to it and then start doing it. So when I pronounce this, I don't say want to or wants ta or wants to. I say wanna. Listen again. Wanna. You guys say it. Wanna. Wanna. All right. And so obviously this is the most specific detail. We're going to put all the attention on this vowel here. Wanna eat. Wanna eat. Wanna eat. Notice how most of you are going to feel uncomfortable linking these two words. You're not going to want to keep your voice moving. You're going to say wanna eat. Wanna eat. Wanna eat. Don't do that. Listen, my voice doesn't stop. Wanna eat. Wanna eat. So add the phrase chunk. What do you want to eat? Listen to the music, not the letters. What I'm saying is not written on the screen, on the page. Listen to what I'm saying. Listen to what parts I'm making most important and giving the most attention to. Listen, here. What do you want to eat? What do you want to eat? You try it. What do you want to eat? Hey, what do you want to eat? All right. So, understanding what to listen to, right? And not staring at letters or, thinking about letters, understanding that those letters don't actually tell you the whole story. When you're looking at those on the paper, you can actually start to change the way you hear the language. You can actually start to make some significant progress in the way you practice and train and build your new habits. So that was phrase chunks for today. What do you want to? Very useful. Let me know if you guys have questions about that. Put it in the chat, or if you're watching the replay, put it in the comments. If you want more practice material, as you know, I recommend Rachel's English Academy. Rachel's English Academy has the most extensive library of resources for you to practice your English. And if you use my coupon code, you get 10% off for life. Okay? Coupon code. Where's my coupon code? Josh10 right here. I don't know if you guys can see this. A little too big. There we go. 10% off. Rachel's English Academy for life. So if you want to practice this phrase or the past tense that we just talked about or anything else, this is the best place to do it. You have it's not unlimited, but it's tens of thousands of audios, videos, community group where you post. You can interact with other students. There's thousands of students in that academy that are working on the same things as you. They're posting videos. They're getting feedback. You can listen to their videos. You can see what kind of feedback they're getting. You can post your videos, get feedback on your videos and your pronunciation from Rachel's English Teachers. So 10% off for life. Use the coupon code Josh10. All right, guys, what's up, chat? Hit the like button. Please hit the like button. Let me know where you're watching from. And we're about to get into the final part of the show. What's going on in the comment section? What's going on over here? How to pronounce ED plus TH sound. ED plus TH, so finished the, called there, and insisted that. Well, that was a good question. Our boy Sam the Chipmunk. I remember that show. There's a show called The Chipmunks, like a cartoon for kids. I remember that. Washington D.C. in the house. All right, what's good, my boy? All right, so that's a great question from our boy Sam. How do you pronounce the ED plus the TH? So the first thing you have to do is make sure that you are continuing the energy of your voice. Here, let me go big. Right? Without having this continuous musicality floating through, right? This energy, this vibration, it's not going to happen. So that's number one. We need that first. Next, what we need to understand is that we're not going to give each sound individual special attention, right? We're not going to pronounce one sound perfectly, wait, and then move on. So we're going to slide through. So actually here with this sound, it gets blended pretty aggressively, right? We blend all the sounds, but this D plus TH gets blended pretty aggressively. And what I do is I just slide down from my D into the, but I kind of cheat and just go right up in the middle, right? So instead of saying finished the, right? You see how it's like jumping? It's like skipping. I say finished the. You hear that sliding? You hear the dragging of the tongue? My tongue is going from here down. Finished the, finished the, right? But again, it's only happening because I have this stream of energy moving forward, and it allows me to just change the shape of the air as I continue to push that forward, right? Same thing with calder, right? And the faster I do it, the shorter the sliding gets. If I do it exaggerated, there's a longer slide, calder. But if I do it faster, what I was saying before, I kind of cheat and put my tongue in between calder, right? So I don't really, the D sound, I push it a little bit farther towards the tooth, but not necessarily on the tooth. Because if the D normally is da 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 da, so here if I'm connecting fast, it's more like calder, there. But you can hear that sliding, right? You hear the movement of the tongue, there. And what was the other one? Insisted that. So it's all about sliding, all about moving forward with the energy to just change the shape. That's what we're doing when we're speaking English. We're changing the shape of the sounds that are coming from here. All right. Good question. Thanks for that. If there's any other questions before we move on to my favorite part of the show, we're going to do accent analysis, pronunciation analysis. I'm not sure who our boy is. It's an Indian guy. We're doing an Indian guy, but I don't know much about him yet. So let's check it out here. Our boy here is named Nikesh Arora. You guys know who this is? You guys know anything about this? Father. Oh, we got another ED question. How do you pronounce father plus ED? Well, that goes back to what we just talked about here earlier with I'm all over the place. Where we at? Here. Live chat. Examples. here with our cheat sheet, right? So for that question, how do you pronounce father plus R, right? We know that we have to look at the word, how it finishes in present tense, the final sound. So the final sound of father in present tense is R, which is a vibrating sound. So that means it's voiced. So we add the D, but we do not add an extra syllable. So we just say, continue that vibration and say fathered, right? 2 syllables in present, 2 syllables in past. Father, fathered, like that. So I'm gonna put this in the chat, in the description, so you guys can come check it out. But this is what we went over here earlier today, was the past simple cheat sheet. This is my proprietary methodology that nobody else is teaching you guys how to pronounce past simple like this. So good questions, guys. Good questions. All right, ladies and gentlemen, on to the fun part. Our boy, let's get back to him. Nikesh Arora. Let me adjust the size here a little bit, so we can see him. All right, so all I know is this guy is in tech and he's Indian. So let's just see what Google says about him. Anything interesting about him? He's 58. Hold on, man. The Spanish version. All right, he's an Indian American executive, serves as chairman and CEO of the cybersecurity firm Palo Alto Networks. Okay, whatever. He worked for Google, SoftBank, whatever. So he's just a huge tech guy. He's an engineer, electrical engineering. I mean, this is like the stereotypical Indian guy profile, right? What is the background? Indian Air Force family. Okay. Who is his wife? Ayesha Thapar. Okay, who cares? How many kids? 2 children? All right. These are some crazy questions about. All right, I don't see anything other than a typical, stereotypical Indian guy profile. So let's jump into this accent analysis. I'm gonna put on the headphones here so I can hear. All right. All right, so let's check out our boy. Here we go.
So many founders get trapped in this idea that I should get customers as fast as I can.
All right, do you hear how he's pronouncing the consonant sounds? Listen to how strong he's pronouncing, like get in the G and K. He's like get customers. Listen to this.
So many founders get trapped in this idea that I should get customers as fast.
I should get customers, right? This to me is a stereotypical Indian accent. Like the guys, they love the consonant sounds. Like to get customers, right? So that obviously in context is understandable, but remember, we're not going to put any attention on that consonant. We're going to go into the vibration, get customers, right? He says get customers. I say get customers. Vibration, resonance, melody right here.
Hundreds of millions a year, all in one. Mm-hmm. Do you ever kind of throw out?
We saw the emergence of companies building a secure browser.
Island.
Or Talon, for that matter, right? Yes. And I said to my team, hey guys, this is going to...
I said to my team, right? Did he use the schwa there? I don't think so.
Island.
Or Talon, for that matter, right? Yes. And I said to my team,
Island. I said to my. He used a flat T, but he said do. I said to my team. I said do, right? So we never say do, but I said the schwa. I think that's the first thing you guys should learn how to do, is not say to or do. If you don't want to have your pronunciation be distracting. If you're saying do or to, You need to change it to duh or to. I said to, or I said to, right? So that is obvious, is unstressed, and that's the way that we expect to hear it.
Perspective saying, listen, we have a comprehensive solution. You can get remote browser isolation. You can get the browser.
Isolation. You hear that? Browser isolation.
Off the races from the go-to-market perspective saying, listen, we have a comprehensive solution. You can get remote browser isolation. You can get
remote browser isolation. So he's stressing the wrong syllable here. Okay, this is a rule you guys can follow. Anytime that a word finishes with T-I-O-N, the vowel before it is the stressed vowel. So it's not isolation, it's isolation, where the first syllable is a secondary stress, right? Isolation, like that. That rule: transportation, navigation, concentration. Always stress that word or the syllable before shin.
The browser, you can get a VPN client, you can get all of them. Companies say, oh, meet my senior VP of crypto, and if you bought a crypto company, you go report to him. Well, the senior VP of...
Whoa. Did you hear that? Was that the word bought? Listen how he pronounces the word bought.
Companies say, oh, meet my senior VP of crypto, and if you bought a crypto company...
That is not clear. Did you hear what he says? He's like, if you bought a crypto company, if you bought a crypto, like, I don't think you could mumble that word any more than that. Listen again.
Companies say, oh, meet my senior VP of crypto, and if you bought a crypto company...
If you bought. Okay, so first of all, that vowel for American listeners, aw, right? Aw's in law. And if it's going to be stressed, which it should be, it's a content word here, you're going to have openness. Aw, ba. Remember, every vowel has two versions. So even if he was pronouncing the correct vowel, the way he pronounced it, it's impossible that it would be stressed because it's so small. He's like, boro. So for my American ears, that means it's like a reduction or something that's not important. You got to put more attention on it. Bada, like that.
Your company.
Yeah.
You have to unvest half your stock.
Oh, that's brutal.
Half your what? Like you said, half your stock?
We tell the founder we're buying your company.
Yeah.
You have to unvest half your stock.
Your stock. Or maybe more forward stock. So again, same thing as bought. It's a different vowel, but it's very similar. You know, if you're saying stock, you're hard to understand. If you're saying stock, right? Listen to the difference. Stock. One of them is way bigger. My version, stock, right? That is how we listen to the language. If you're making the important parts of the language so small, then you're never going to be easy to understand.
But 10 on stuff that's going to be 5 years out.
You know, I share the view. If I was so smart that I could take something from a startup.
I could take. Indian people love that T sound. Take. Right? They put that tongue up there. We're take. Listen to how you can hear the air going past my teeth. He said take. I'm saying take. And what part stands out the most? Hey, not take. Like him, it's take, like that.
And I'm like, so am I going to make money? He's like, no, we're going to sell more firewalls. Okay.
Sell more what? Bro, my dude, this guy mumbles a lot. He said firewalls.
Great for the firewall. I'm like, that's cool. Is that going to help you sell more firewalls? I don't know.
More firewalls. There's just no identity for any of the important parts. Like, what did I say? Even if I say it fast, like firewalls. Look how much space I'm creating. Firewalls. He's like, firewalls. I was saying firewalls like that.
We stitch them that they work better together.
Yeah.
Which became sort of the next push behind platformization.
Push. Right? So much emphasis on that P. Push. Take. Push. Right? These consonant sounds, right, that have the contact with the tongue, with the lips, right? They're getting a lot more attention than what makes it sound clear. That's the thing, is that a lot of times the non-native speaker, you guys will try to overpronounce stuff because you think that it will be more clear for a native speaker. But the way you actually end up overpronouncing it is the way that it sounds clear for you in your language. So I'm sure if he puts extra emphasis on P's and T's in his language, then it sounds great. But for us, it takes away the value of the most important part of the vowel sound. So you shouldn't say push. It should be push. With that. Same thing we've always been talking about.
Yeah, you have to adapt to their requirements to some degree so you can make their stuff work, but you got to be careful.
I like how he made that reduction so you can, right? That was good. Like he didn't say so you can. He said so you can.
Adapt to their requirements to some degree so you can make their stuff
So you can even use the vibration. That was great. Good job. Arora. I don't know how to pronounce his name.
Guy. And you had to figure it out. Yeah. When you first came in, though,
good outcome.
We have a section in our board meeting once a year.
This is the most viewed part of the video. Let's see.
To understand Palo Alto, I sat there and say, how do the enterprise companies work? If you do enterprise math, it kind of falls into two very simple places.
Enterprise. I think he said math, right? It sounded like Matt. Yeah.
Alto, I sat there and say, how do the enterprise companies work? If you do enterprise math, it kind of falls into
enterprise mat. So is he talking about like a rug or is he talking about a person? Enterprise mat, right? Obviously the TH is tough. I know you guys, it doesn't exist in anybody else's language. I'll do a whole episode on TH, but right, instead of mat, right, math. The key is hearing the air go past, going through like that.
Two very simple places, right? So any founder is thinking about scaling their company.
Yeah, the same thing, thinking, right?
Has to think about two different scenarios. One scenario,
different, a lot. This time, right? He's right to say two, but he put so much attention on the T is distracting. It's like instead of two with the pitch, the resonance, the melody is just flat, all consonant sound.
United States. Well, my first job, which I loved, was
the first job. So openness is a real issue for him. Like he keeps all of his stress vowels really small, right? He doesn't put identity of stress on the important parts, right? If you compare his to mine, he said job. He's just opening his mouth a little bit, job from here, job, which doesn't really do anything to change the quality of the sound.
Job which I loved was I was a buy-side analyst. And I walked in and my job was to analyze stuff.
My job. Wait, look, listen to compare this. His is job, and mine is job. Job and job. Right? It's just really hard to be clear if you're not creating contrast in space. Like that's one thing that most non-native speakers don't understand is that space matters a lot for our ears. It tells us a lot. It lets us know like what sound it is and also which version of it, stressed or unstressed.
It's not going to be one sales company and one product company. So I'm not coming to fix sales. Company and one product company. So
same thing. That's the same vowel as job. He pronounced it the same way as product. He pronounced it the same way. Look.
Company and one product company. So
product, job, product. He said job, product. I'm saying job, product. I know it seems exaggerated and extreme for most of you when you realize how much you have to open the mouth. But if you're not doing that, then you're sending the language in a way that's easy for you in your native language. It's not easy for a native speaker's ears, unless they're really used to listening to people with strong accents.
Figure stuff out.
Just kind of back on you personally.
It's kind of like, in a way, sometimes your parents actively encourage you. Sometimes they don't interfere and they let you do. In a way, sometimes your parents actively encourage you. Sometimes.
So, like, here's another example of the different sound, right? Encourage, incur. He's not the amount of space he has for stressed and unstressed syllable. It's the same. Like, it really, really limits the contrast. It shuts down the contrast if you don't create contrast with space, right? So look at how I say encourage. Look at right here, not here. Look here, incur. And you see I'm starting my voice without moving the mouth here in right. The listener's listening, got the shape in the mouth, the vibration, and then we just need a little bit more space to make it obvious that it's stress and encourage, right? This is where you should really be paying attention when you're talking about space, because that's where your voice comes out.
In a way, sometimes your parents actively encourage you.
Right, it's encourage. I'm like incur. Right, he's also in the mouth, right? Courage. I'm like courage, like that.
But like on a more serious note, in Silicon
No. Look, he's like, no. I'm like, no, like that.
Valley, most companies which lose sight of a product focus over time die.
Product what? Product what?
Most companies which lose sight of a product focus over time.
Focus. What?
Most companies
What does that sound like to you guys?
lose sight of a product focus over time.
Focus. What does that sound like to you guys? Does it sound like he's saying focus or focus? Which one do you hear? I hear more the second one. Right? So this is a classic one. I've already done videos on this about what it sounds like. With that diphthong, you got to slide from the first to second position, and you got to finish with O. You got to say O. Right? He's like focus. I'm like, look at this, look, focus. Oh, right? Filling the ears up with that movement of the energy of the body, but also the movement of the mouth position.
Two young founders who had never run a company.
That was okay. So let's point out something he does well. All right.
With the mapping authorities of countries, we just go ride our own cars around the streets. We'll cover them. When he was doing the math, how many cars, how many drivers he needed.
All right, so I think I lost the part I wanted to point out, but when he just said how many cars, I mean, this is the same vowel that he was doing with, what was it, product and something else. But look at how I pronounce cars. So much open and so much space. Look how he does it.
Doing the math, how many cars, how many drivers.
How many cars, right? It's just the way the language works, what our ears expect to hear.
Things I wouldn't want to sort of take from him, but his ability to think out of the box, his ability to...
All right, ability, okay. He's making a flap T there. Let's give him some credit for that.
There are certain things I wouldn't want to sort of take from him, but his ability to think out
ability, right? We know flap T doesn't just make you sound American. It also lets us know it's unstressed. You can hear that vibration, right? He did the same thing we did in our lesson today with the past tense, except he applied it to the T sound. He felt vibration, all that vibration, and he didn't go ability. It stopped the vibration. He stayed down here, ability, and kept it going. That's why vibration is so important. That's why I'm always focusing on you guys listening to the vibration, because it lets you know what to do. It lets the listener know what you are doing.
Very different.
Yeah.
They're all very different. And I think that's the beauty of
it. Yourself, everyone else is taken.
It's kind of like, you're very right in the way you say that. If you're not yourself, the risk is you're going to do a shitty job of trying to be somebody else. So
he had more space with that vowel. Job. That was one that he had no openness for a lot of times. Like, now he's doing a lot better with it. Shitty job.
Do a shitty job of trying to be.
It's not the same as mine. He's getting so like job. I'm still here. Job, right? Shitty job. He's getting closer. You're getting better. Aurora. I don't know how to pronounce your name.
Somebody else. So you might as well keep doing a good job of being yourself. And if that works out, it's good.
Mm-hmm. When I was CEO of HubSpot, SOs versus non-quals.
Math, understand the probabilities, then you can go take whatever.
I think the thing that's broken out of it is like most public companies, they look at your.
Okay, so and I actually spoke about every one of the 40 people who were there.
You hear that? 40 people. Okay, so that was great. The way he did the number, again, he used the vibration, kept the vibration going, used the flap T, and that indicated to my ears that it was unstressed. And it made it nice for me to be able to follow the sound of his voice through the vibration when he said 40. All right, let's do a couple more.
Gap here or there.
Do you get exhausted during the day ever? Or you're just up?
No, I can power through the day. It's pretty... Look.
Yeah, there's no vowel there. What do you say? He can power through the day?
Can power through the days.
I can power through the days. Power. Again, coming back to those same sounds with the contact points, lips and tongue. So, right, for you guys that are non-native speakers coming from India or right, whatever, I'm sure he speaks many languages, keep in mind that the way that those consonants sound for your ears seems clear and natural, but for our ears, it's way too clear, it's way too perfect, and it wipes out all the value of the vowel, which is what we actually listen to.
This is they require
more? No,
and they come.
it. All right, so that was it. I mean, honestly, I think that his English is good because he uses a lot of musicality, he uses a lot of melody, but he needs to really focus on listening to the difference between how he's pronouncing consonant sounds and how American listeners expect to hear them. Much, much different, much softer, much less perfect. And then he needs to also, right, tune his ear for the sound of space, right? And when I say need to, what I'm saying is that if he wants people to understand him easily. So I'm assuming that when you're speaking a language, you do want to be understood easily, even if you want to keep your accent. And if he does those things, he could do both. So that's it, guys. Remember, if you want me to break down your pronunciation, you can send a video if you scan that QR code that you see on the screen. Or if you have someone that you want me to analyze, right, drop it in the comments, drop it in the chat, and just send me, the link for the person who you'd like to see me analyze. And don't forget that if you want the biggest resource of pronunciation materials on the internet, Rachel'sEnglish.com has everything you want. Yes, I work with Rachel. I have worked with Rachel for years. I'm in her academy every single day, looking at the material, recommending it to students. So I can personally say that I've seen all this stuff. I know it's good, right? You can get 10% off for life if you use my coupon code. So the link is in the description for this as well. All right, so that's it. That is it for the live. So guys, thank you for joining me. As usual, we'll come back with a new topic. Let me know what topics you want me to cover. Let me know what topics are hardest for you. If there's specific words or phrases, you can also let me know in the comments. So now that you guys know about this past tense pronunciation of regular verbs, you can start practicing it right away, and you just boost